No, sir. I've quit drinking.
You've seen the error of your ways.
No, I just can't afford it.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
Yes, sweetheart, I have a rare condition which requires me to drink one of those every 15 minutes, please.
Yeah, well, give me a fucking drink. Move it, you little prick.
I'm sorry, Bruce. These boys get that syrup in them. They get a little antsy and they're pantsy. You just can't keep them under control.
Cheers. Welcome back to Reels, Booze, and Bros, a.k.a. RB2. As you know, I'm your host, Jay. Got my co-host here, Brian, with me. And we got our Real Bro fan, Kev. How you doing? Welcome back.
Doing good. Good to see you.
Very nice. Gentlemen.
Zach Attack.
The Zach Attack is with us. So, it's been a while since we recorded. We were trying to do it last time. Something unfortunate happened. But let's, we're going to move on and from that situation. How are we doing besides that? Good? Excited to talk about the movie we have today?
Oh, yeah. Back.
All right, so I just see we have it on in the background as always. Our listeners don't know that's going on. Something we started new. So the movie we're doing this time is The Program, but before that, our previous podcast was Big Trouble in Little China. The Pork Chop Express led us to this next episode. All right, how good was that movie? Fucking loved it. David Lopan, I think he was probably one of the top villains for me. Right? Anyone else?
From the movies that we've done, yes. He's in the top 2 or 3 villains we've done.
Yeah, no, we talked about it before, but also you could bring for the Matrix Agent Smith up there also. Yeah. But he's more of like a typical villain. But Big Trouble in Little China is a comedy. Well, I don't know if it's supposed to be a comedy, but I think it's probably. Yeah. I don't know if it was marketed as that or an action movie, probably, but. Different type of villain is my point.
Yes, very different type of villain. So actually, what we're doing really quick before we're going live, we're actually on our Twitch, and the viewers can hear us out there. We got someone saying hi. Rob, what's up? What's up out there? Glad you guys can tune in. We hopefully more people come tuning in. Now back to really quick, the Pork Chop Express. As I said, David Lopan, probably one of the best villain. The Matrix, yes. Agent Smith, but... Lopan. Shut up, Mr. Barton. I've been trying to get my Lopan voice back again, so we'll see how that goes. And that's it for let's see, our last episode, Big Trouble in Little China. Check it out on our website. Now let's we're gonna move on to the program, but first the booze. As something new here on our Twitch, you can see our booze cam. Here's my lovely hand in here. So this is my beer. You'll watch me as I drink this throughout the entire episode and whatever other beers we go on. We have Neon Giants. Brian, you brought this beer to us, so why don't you explain a little bit about it?
Well, it's a hazy IPA brewed with New Zealand hops from Cooperstown, New York, but it's also in a collaboration with Firestone Walker Brewing Company. I can't really put like a flavor profile to it. Like I'm not getting one. It's like there's multiple different flavors in here that I just can't get one that like dominates or anything like that. But it's actually not bad. It's not like really hoppy or super hazy either. So it's just kind of a little smooth. I wish the beer was a little bit colder, but that's probably my fault because I bought it at 6:30. So
I did have those glasses that you see this nice beautiful glass that I have as I'm pointing with my hand on our Twitch stream. That cold in there, so you're more than welcome to go grab that sooner. But it's up to you. Go on with the beer.
Yeah, that's it. It's 6.5%. It sounds about right. I can't really complain about this. It's pretty good.
Kev, we're at a 6.5, so you'll be able to drive a little bit later. So what do you think of this?
Yeah, those nuns don't have to look out on the way home. I looked at the flavor profile in the back, and it does talk about how it's supposed to be kind of like a top tropical citrus type flavor to it.
Yes.
If it's there, it's like it's very faint. That might just be because it is a little bit warmer also.
Yeah.
But no, it tastes fine besides that. I'm not sure. I think some of the IPAs we've had in the past definitely might have tasted better, but that also might have been because it had a more distinct taste to it. And again, maybe if this was a little bit cooler, it would be the same thing. But it's fine. I'm enjoying it. Yeah. I will finish this beer.
Yeah, like I said, it's not one that has like a bitter aftertaste or anything like that. So it goes down pretty smooth, and it's really not hoppy. So it's just it's not bad.
All right, so that's good. I enjoy it. As you can see, as it's slowly going down on the booze cam there. All right, so let's move on to the movie. The Program is a 1993 American drama film starring James Caan, Halle Berry, Omar Epps, Craig Schaefer, Christy Swanson, and Joey Lauren Adams. Let's see. The film was directed by David S. Ward, who has directed and written other Hollywood films such as the Major League series. Remember that? We did a Major League podcast.
Oh yeah.
A great fucking movie. Major League, the first one, fantastic. The rest of them were just slowly going downhill.
Wear caps and sleeves at this level.
I look like a banker. So the film touches on a season of a fictional Division One FBS, then IA college football team, the Eastern State University (ESU) Timberwolves, as they deal with the pressure to make a bowl game, alcohol and anabolic steroid abuse, receipt of improper benefits, and overall what's it, $50 overall college life. It follows the trials of Coach Sam Winters, Khan, the Heisman Trophy candidate Joe Kane Sheffer, the freshman running back Darnell Jefferson Epps, their love interests Barry and Halle Berry, and Swanson, and other team members. All right, so that's a little background on the movie. Before we go on, the main star, I guess, the quarterback, Joe Kane. God damn, he's an ugly motherfucker. In this
Kane is
movie.
able.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great Heisman show, but he is an ugly dude. Plain and simple.
Who wears buttons nowadays?
Yeah,
Well, the movie's on in the background. He's working out in like jeans and a belt.
yeah. I don't think he's
What are we
ever
doing
worked out
here?
once in his life in there.
Well, so is Christy Swanson too. So
Yeah.
Well, she has the knee brace on. She
Yeah.
looks professional there.
yeah, but
At
she's in jean shorts. She's in jorts.
Yeah.
He's facing the wrong way on the lat pull down.
Exactly. So, all right, so let's move on. Let's go to the critic scores. So Rotten Tomatoes scored this movie 43% in tomato meter. Audience score was at 80%. IMDb gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Let's see, the Metacritic score. There was none for the Metascore. And the user score of was a to be determined out of 10. Actually, I think I missed the Metascore. I think they gave it a 1 out of 100. let me check now. So
I can't believe it would be a 1.
No, it's not. But they didn't have a user score. So while
I don't want to rate this movie as a 0. I'll give it 1 point.
Yes.
But it was interesting because there was no ratings from the user score. So, what do you guys think about that? You guys agree with that? What do you think of this entire movie?
I could see with the audience score, like I'd probably right around there, like an 80, or an 8.5. But I guarantee, if you would have took us back in time when this movie first came out, we were probably like, oh, it's a fucking 10. So I guarantee most of the higher scores are the people that are our age and saw this movie growing up, because this was right when we were like middle school, high school, the perfect time to watch this movie. And the scores were definitely, from those guys, were definitely 95 and 100. So
yeah, without a doubt. Okay, Metascore 51 out of 100 and user score to be determined. So, Kev, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think for audience score, you would see a lot of people that would just casually watch this movie. I mean, an audience score of 80 is still pretty good.
yeah, oh yeah,
So
without
obviously,
a doubt.
there might be some people that would nitpick here and there. For the critics, I think part of the reason why it might be lower is because there's no real set focus for this movie.
I
think
agree.
if this movie is either just about Joe Kane or just about Lattimore or just about Mack or even just about Jefferson is the running back's name, right?
You could have.
But I think they try to do so much, it's hard to focus on what's
You're also
going on.
still missing the storyline of the coach.
Yeah.
You could have just based it on the coach.
They have the whole thing with him and the daughter, and it's that's 5 seconds.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Or just even the football itself, the season on its own. It's all over the place. They try to fit too many storylines.
They try to do every college football relevant story, from steroid use to impermissible benefits to academic scandals to date rape scandals to alcoholism to all that. And the football scenes in the movie are still great, but all that takes away from the actual football at times too.
It hurts the movie a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel the same way. As I'm looking back, as I loved the movie and I still enjoyed it as I rewatched this, it was just the fact that, all these multiple storylines and crammed into this movie. I thought there was a lot more football scenes, and there really wasn't as many as I thought there was when I originally first saw it back in the day. And I'm going over my notes, looking at it now. God, as I said, Joe Kane looked like the young version of Dracula from Bram Stoker's Dracula, with the fucking hair, the face. He's supposed to be 22 or something like that, 23. Motherfucker's 40.
Yeah, the guy who plays him is 37 or 38, I think, or something like that.
And he's
right?
no, he's not
Not that
30,
old?
He's 31, I think.
Oh,
in
I
the
thought,
movie.
I thought he was
Yeah,
older than
it's
that,
like the
still.
kid going to pick up the daughter in Bad Boys too. He's like, motherfucker, you look fucking 30. Oh, can I pick up your daughter, sir?
Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie. Yeah, 16. Yes. So it is. But though he was actually on a different show later on. He was on One Tree Hill TV show. He was the uncle of one of the main stars on there. So
I'll take your word for it.
so that was the best. I liked him in the TV show, and then as the quarterback, I don't know. It's just weird. He's ugly. That's all I got, man. I can't. It was just tough to look at him. I couldn't believe that this guy looked like that. Anyway, so moving on. Let's go to our favorite.
That guy's never
scenes.
going to listen to this again.
He's like, you know what? Those assholes on that booze podcast are talking about how ugly I look and a vampire and fuck out of here. All right, so favorite scenes. Anyone want to start? Brian, what do you think? You got your. It's a good time to show your notebook of what you got.
Yeah, I got my notes. I guess we'll start off right in the beginning of the movie with the recruiting of Darnell. I guess it's probably got to be kind of similar to what it would be like in real life being recruited. For him arriving on campus, the coach coming to his house and like the whole family, like he's like the first one that's really trying to make it big, and all that sort of stuff. Like where when he comes on campus, they have the cheerleaders, they have like some of the
band playing on.
they take him onto the field, all that sort of stuff, and then
the whole shebang.
Yeah. So, that's got to be a pretty cool feeling, for someone, who's never been to that level. Yeah. So there's that. That would be my first scene. My second scene would be the first day of practice. I feel like that's pretty iconic scene right there. And of course, I feel like they chose, what was it? For the song, the background, welcome to the jungle. I feel it's very like super like cliche that they chose that song, but whatever, it still works. Darnell, when he gets, are you injured or are you hurt? Huh?
Injured.
What's that mean?
Well, if you're hurt, you can still play. If you're injured, you got to sit out, or whatever the order is.
Yeah. He's like, well, I think I'm just hurt. So, yeah, there was that. Then you got the actual, like, the hitting and the drills. And these guys, like, they look like they're really, that's not fake. Those dudes are full on hitting each other.
I read somewhere that apparently, like, a lot of people that were actually, the stars in the movie and even their extras that were there, like, a lot of people got hurt, apparently.
I can see it. Like, those guys were,
really,
like,
hitting each other, apparently.
And those were some big boys in that scene right there. It's not like they were just some... like randoms, like these were some serious boys. And then when you get to the aftermath in a locker room and all of them are dead because it was 2-a-days and they're just all laying there, and then you see fucking the star of the guy who steals the movie, Latimer. Just fucking juiced out of his mind doing fucking, overhead shoulder press, fucking 315 for, I don't know, Kev, how many did you say, 50?
I mean, the guy, there's like a minute speech where they start talking about steroid testing, and then after they're done, then he finally puts the thing down. So he probably got at least 50 reps.
Yeah, because he wasn't slowing down. That pace was fast.
More or less, he was probably holding it up just the entire time. Still holding. I
don't know, but the one part that I do like in that, when he does throw the weights down, but is when he like kicks it and he's like,
he kicked the fucking weight.
So yeah, that part was good. Like, I just makes me laugh.
Just flexing and roid around.
Yeah. So there was that. I would go. My third scene would be another guy that I really like in the movie is Alvin Mack, and it's like realistically, it's like two scenes of him. It's just one shows like that this guy knows nothing besides football. So like they show him in the classroom and he's like, I don't know that answer. They're like, we went over this. I read you the chapter, Darnell. The guy literally, he can't read, Alvin. Like, so they're like,
fuck you, I know what that says.
Fuck you, doughboy, I can read. It's Adidas.
Yeah, exactly. But then all of a sudden when they get him into the film room for football, the dude knows every single coverage, knows every single play where the guy's supposed to be the other team. He's like, what's your thing? And you're just like, wow, this is amazing. Like, that's like a real life thing where there's guys literally in today's college that are literally just like that right now. They don't want to admit it. You know, I'm going to say Alabama. But, yeah, but it's literally like that.
Kill the quarterback.
Yeah.
Kill the line.
Yeah.
Kill them all.
Yeah.
Hit him so hard his girlfriend dies.
Then I'm going to go with my next one is the night before the first game. Like, so are they technically on the road? Or are they home? Because they're like staying in a hotel, it looks like.
Oh, I don't even know if they're home or away. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to tell. I think they're away.
Yeah, if they're in a hotel.
But then, you know, like how,
I know, they're a big name program. They probably got some cupcake on the schedule for week 1. I know it's not a cupcake.
Yeah.
You know, it's a setup game to make them look good and stuff like that. You know, probably against Rutgers. I don't know.
Yeah, at the time,
Ouch.
yeah, Rutgers was.
Ouch.
Rutgers.
I'm a fucking alum from Rutgers, so.
At the time, Rutgers, I think, was probably 0-10. So
Yeah.
let's be honest. This is 90s.
They were ranked 117 out of 117 schools.
But yeah, the night before the first game, you know, coach gives a few speeches, and then he tells the guys to let them, you know, do their thing. And like, he's like, I like to have some of the older guys talk about what they're happy about, you know, with football and what got them into it. And then like what, you know, Latimer, when he breaks down like his whole speech, you know, and you're just like, holy shit, that's fucking cool. Like, I know this guy's juiced out of his mind, but I'm like, I want this guy as my fucking teammate. You know, like, you just cool stuff. You know, they're all listing like what they're proud of, and then you like once again circle back to Darnell, him just saying like, I'm the first one in my family to go to school. You know, so like, you know, there's always that sort of thing, which is cool. And then eventually, like leading into the first game, then you have the Latimer and Mac when they're just like hitting each other with the pads, and then, you know,
spitting each other's mouth.
That's how you get. That's how you get COVID.
Yeah,
plain and simple.
Yeah. And then from there on, I don't really have much until I get to the second half of the last game when they're playing Georgia Tech. And, you know, Joe Kane comes, you know, doesn't start the game, but, you know, they're down and they need this win to come back and make a bowl game. They'll be conference champs, which I don't know how it's possible. They lost a bunch of games, so whatever.
But they still won their conference.
Yeah, exactly. Kane goes back
all the
in.
games were in their conference were at the beginning of the season while Kane was there, and then.
Oh yeah,
I guess.
Backload schedule or
I do like the speech that the coach gives to Joe Kane about, like, you know, his dad not being there, and then, you know, he's like, you know, we're your family sort of thing. I thought that was a really good speech.
Probably the only good thing about the coach.
Yeah. Then you have the Latimer stop, you know, where he just like fucking drills the guy, and he's just like, yeah. And then eventually you get the game-winning touchdown. You know, it's just like, oh, he fumbles the ball. Like, everything you think that could go wrong, I'm watching the Giants again. But it's like he fumbles the ball.
Yeah, at least they
won. Yeah, at least they won. But yeah, so, you know,
okay,
I'll go with that. Those were my.
I got you. So, Kev, you think you want to add, change the lead? What do you think? What's going on?
For the most part, I had everything that Brian had, except for there's 2 other scenes that I had. The first one is the first bar scene where you first meet Kane, Kaminsky, the tackle, and that's where Latimer, Mac, and that's when they first bringing Jefferson in also. Just like, you know, with all them talking, they bring up the whole idea about, oh, Latimer, looks like you put on some muscle there, basically, bud. What's been going on? No, just hitting the gym, you know?
Shoving needles in my ass to make sure I fucking hit.
So that whole thing, I mean, it leads into everything where you see what's going on, so we can tell what's going to go on with Latimer. You get the idea that Mac is basically, as much as Joe Kane is the quarterback and like the leader of the offense, you really get this sense as soon as they come in that Mac is like the actual like leader of the team on defense. He's the one that gets Jefferson, says, you know, rookie, you know, go get me some beer or whatever it was. But so I had that scene just introducing all of them. And the one other thing that I had along with that is it's kind of quick, but it's the academic review board when they're just trying to get the backup quarterback, I think his name is Collins, back onto the team.
Yes.
Just because that's the only time where Coach Winters actually looks like he knows what he's doing. And goes after the other guy. It's interesting hearing them talk about, you know, basically how dumb the football team is. And he says, you know, we've given leniency in the past to guys like Mac, and the guy can't even read. And the guy's like, well, yeah, you know, it's like, when's the last time 80,000 people went to see a chemistry exam? Yeah. So it's just interesting seeing how like the sports and academics mixes in that scene. Since I don't have a lot of other scenes, I'll do a change up and tell you what my least favorite scenes are, since one of them is on now. Any scene involving any of the relationships in this movie,
Yes.
completely useless, not
Yeah.
worthwhile at all.
The
I don't care about Christy Swanson. I don't care about Halle Berry. More football, please.
The forced love is
Like, do we need
It's tough.
Do we need two separate romances in
Yeah.
the movie? Also, is this what we need?
technically there's three with the coach's daughter and the back
Oh
the
yeah,
quarterback.
yeah. Okay.
Where she takes the test for him as Bobby or something like that, or like
Yeah.
I think Collins is the last name, right?
Bobby
Yeah,
Collins?
Yeah, Bobby Collins is his
Bobby
name.
could
Yeah,
be
yeah,
like it's
okay.
kind of like unisex, not really, but like
Yeah.
somehow it fits for this. And there's your favorite scene
Because they're completely
where he goes,
yeah.
where he's talking about we got in the background as he's going over the defenses, kill him so hard and his girlfriend dies or something like that.
Hit him
Yeah,
so hard his girlfriend dies. Kill everybody.
yeah, straight up all. And then what the fuck is this? Oh, what is this game called? They're playing
Racquetball.
inside.
Yeah.
Racquetball. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, so
It's kind of hard to believe that a Division One tennis player can't actually fucking play this.
well, she hurt her knee, so it's a little tough for her.
Well, she had no problem running around on a big court. A little court over here, she can't fucking move. Just saying.
Joe, stop!
She's supposed to be Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She
Yeah,
fucking,
you know what? I tell you what, she had a 3. I love the scene.
Yeah.
She had a 3 great movie deal. This one, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and there was something else. Oh, she was in Dazed and Confused, I think.
no, she,
No, there's some Charlie Sheen movie.
yeah,
What
she was
it
in The
called?
Chase.
Oh, the
Chase.
chase. No, but no, there's whatever.
I believe you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so here we go. I have to agree. On to me. I will agree with Brian. The fact when they bring him in to what was it Omar Epps, Darnell Jefferson to come play for ESU. We got greeted by the band, the cheerleaders. Halle Berry shows up. You're like, oh my god, like this is fantastic. It's just like where are the hookers and cocaine next? And so like, what's going on?
That was the after party.
Yeah, that was like the Miami Dolphins and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, no, Miami Hurricanes.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Miami Hurricanes. We're back
You know
in the
what?
day.
Just because the scene's on now, I think Brian kind of glossed over it also because this leads into the night before the first game. But best scene in the movie is actually starting defense.
Yeah.
Plays at the table.
Yeah, plays at the table. He just fucking slams his head. Latimer.
Make sure he knows they drug test on Saturdays.
Before I go on, so the coaches, look at their fucking clothing. Everything is so fucking tight and they're so overweight. Like, look at this slob. That
That guy needs a belt.
That guy it's and then the shorts they wear.
The shirt is tucked into those pants.
Yeah,
Also, that are
and
too
tucked to
tight.
like the tightest
It was the
khakis ever.
90s. What do you expect?
I know, and like but the short shorts that are on top.
Yeah, that's right. It leads right into this scene you were talking about, where they're going over what they're thankful for.
So anyway, so back on the I got so after that the preseason training montage. You know what? You got a montage in the movie. I fucking love it.
Especially a sports montage.
Yeah, sports montage was great. With
Sports training montage.
with Welcome to the Jungle. I know it was cliche, but it's a fucking good song, man.
What
Come
other
on.
song could you put on?
I don't know.
A Metallica song?
Yeah.
Little Justin Bieber. No.
He's
I know.
He's probably just
Later,
born.
yeah.
I don't think he was in his daddy's
I was
nutsack
trying to be funny.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see. Then I guess the first game as Darnell steps out onto the field, when he comes out, like he realized you're like, holy fucking shit. Like this again, it's the '90s. You kind of see it on that shit TV where we used to get up and change the channel by hand. Some people still had that as opposed to a remote.
Mm-hmm.
And he finally goes to the to an actual stadium to realize like, dude, I'm in person. I went from high school to this. Guy's like what, 18 years old, possibly 19,
17.
could be even 17 at this point.
17 probably when he was
He looks like he's
recruited.
fucking 28 in the movie, but you know what? He's actually like an 18, 19-year-old. He goes there and he has like 80,000 fucking fans screaming for him as he goes in there. Yeah, that's an awesome experience. I actually felt that with him. And then I would say the hospital scene. What was that all about? Like it's like 30 seconds and then just bounces out. Like, sorry, you're done. Thanks for getting us this far. So like when Mac gets hurt, his knee's all fucked up. The coach comes in and he's like, I don't know why I liked it. It was just like he just comes in, says, "Oh man," gives him a hug. He feels bad for him. Coach comes to see the player, offer words of like, "You're gonna be fine" and stuff like that. He's like,
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sorry, the guys couldn't even. No teammates show up either. He's just holed up in a with a
His friend said,
knee.
anyone else come to see? And he's just like, oh, well, they don't like hospitals.
Yeah. So I don't know why. It's like, what a shit
It's
scene.
very, very depressing.
Yeah, it was horrible.
By the way, come on. In the 90s, people come back from injury, so he won't be a first-round pick anymore. Someone take a flyer on him in the fourth.
But you don't know the extent of his injury, like how bad it really was, like because his leg's the other way around.
Listen, Frank Gore had a plentiful career after his leg was basically ripped the wrong way also, so.
Yeah, but that was in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it was
so
only like 7 or 8 years after this, so
here's
not
my
too much
favorite
longer.
scene showing up. But it's
And he's still playing today. No, I'm just kidding. Is he still playing today? Probably not.
He may be. I don't know. He may not have been signed. So
yeah. So you know what? Go for fucking medical technology. The fact that injury, you'd be back next season if that would have happened. Like whatever.
Dak Prescott.
Or you know what? He could be a
Exactly.
linebacker coach or a defensive coordinator somewhere.
Yeah. Didn't
That ain't the end.
Didn't Dak Prescott's fucking bone come through the skin?
Yeah, he had a compound fracture.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's fucking back. How many points he scored? Like fucking 40 this past
For fantasy? Yeah.
fucking piece of
You want
shit.
to talk about my fantasy quarterback?
Yeah, all right.
He had one more point than I did on Sunday.
Let's not go down fantasy.
Let's bring it back. So that's what I got. The hospital scene. It's probably sad, but I fucking loved it because it's just, like I think James Conner's like probably the worst coach I've ever seen in my entire life. So that's it. Now let's move it on. Favorite quotes. Kev, let's go with you. What you got?
All right, so for my quotes, just one of the ones that came up, just because Brian brought it up before, the academic tutor that's talking to Mac right before they go into the scene where they're in the film study, where it's like, which 2 city-states fought in the Punic Wars? And he just says, I don't know, Detroit and Buffalo? But from there, I think a lot of Alvin Mack's like trash talk, and a lot of his quotes through the movie are just great.
Yeah.
So there's even the one like we mentioned before. The guy says, "Fuck you, doughboy, I can read." See that? It says Adidas.
I taught him that.
I taught him that. There's the one that's like, you didn't think I was going to find you. I'm going to rip your gut open and watch you die. So everything he talks about in the field, and his like pregame thing is the whole let the paramedics sort him out also. So besides that, when I mentioned for the best scene when it came up before, I think for me the most memorable quote from the movie is still Latimer's starting defense. Place at the table.
Yep. Nope.
And let's see. I mentioned it before also when they're actually at the academic advisory board when, the one guy who's trying to say we can't keep giving all these extensions to football players just because they help the program. Or says this is not a football vocational school. It's an institute for higher learning. So the coach says, yeah, but when was the last time 80,000 people showed up to watch a kid do a damn chemistry experiment?
Yeah.
And then completely out of character almost right afterwards. Why don't you stick that bow tie? Why don't you stick that bow tie up your ass? So
It's funny.
He was wearing a bow tie.
It's funny though, like that guy is like the quintessential like '80s like dean, like who's like, you can't come here, like just that sort of character where he was just made it seem like, it's schools like, well, I mean it is for learning, but just like it's just the way it is. It's like, no, this football is paying for everything in this school.
Yes.
So
it's so weird the guy singles out Alvin Mack where like he can just make the case like he went to this school to help the football program, and at that point he can say, this is a guy who's going to go pro.
Yeah.
He came to school and made a living for himself doing this. Like you're going to say that football doesn't do anything for these kids basically.
Yeah.
And the fact that if he is, as far as literacy or education goes, like he's literally dumb as hell, he's not going to have that opportunity doing anything else. Mm-hmm. So it's still something that's available for the school. Just the last quote I have from the one scene that you mentioned also when they're doing their pregame, giving their speeches about what everyone is grateful for. They all gave interesting speeches, I guess, but I still think Latimer has the best one.
Oh, without
so
a doubt.
I just said, when he starts off, it's like, what are you thankful for? He says, I don't know, it's the battle, the going to war with the other guys, hanging together, having our own dorm, staying in hotels the night before the games, setting ourselves apart, being different than everybody else, having a chance to be somebody, to do something that people look up to you for, your strength, your courage. Not everybody can play football. We're the lucky ones. And the only reason he can play football is because he's wrote it out, but we don't need to worry about that. But the sentiment is still there, though. So
do what you got to do.
I think one of the reasons why I love that speech so much is also like his delivery of the speech.
Yeah, I
like
sucked at it, so it's okay.
No, but I'm just saying like he like pauses on certain things and just like it actually feels like he's that character. Like he's that character.
He's thinking and reflecting on it. So
yeah,
as close as the Al Pacino speech in.
No.
You felt it like that? No. Okay.
No.
Just want to make sure.
But no, this is still one of the better ones. So like, are you done with yours?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. So I have.
You better be done.
I literally have pretty much everything you said, like the Latimer speech. I just lumped in. I said Alvin Mack trash talk because everything he said was fantastic.
You're the guy who shot my mother.
And the one guy's like, I don't know your mama. Like that, like on the first game, like that was pretty funny. And then the other one that I have is from like I think isn't it Kaminsky who says it first? He's like, let's put the women and children to bed and go looking for dinner.
I thought that was Joe Kane the first
That was
time.
But Joe Kane says that at the end, but I thought Kaminsky said that too.
No, it's
No,
always
I
been
thought
Kane.
it was him.
No, it's
Kaminsky
always-
has the whole, my doggies are on the way to the
Oh,
end zone.
okay, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, all right.
Excuse
So
me,
then,
my
yeah,
doggies have reached the end
then
zone.
that-
I need
yeah.
to go celebrate with them.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So Joe Kane and yeah, that's all I really got. Like everything else was just kind of, you know,
It was just kind of blah.
not
What's going
not memorable with really much. You know, those are the ones that kind of stuck out to me. Like, you know, Chrissy Swanson had nothing. You know,
Nah, she was
Halle Berry,
she was
nothing.
rough in there.
The
Halle
actual
Berry-
starting running back, nothing. Jefferson doesn't even really have any good quotes either. He doesn't even know what the meaning of the words are he's using.
yeah.
So okay, I got you. Moving on. So I'll see what for me. Again, Alvin Mack. Let's open up a can of kick-ass and kill them all. Let the paramedics sort them out. Joe Kane. Let's put the women and children to bed and go looking for dinner. And then again, fuck you, doughboy. I can read. See that shoe? It says Adidas. Because honestly, this movie was as again the Latimer quote was probably it was like a dissertation for him.
Yeah.
Yes. Which,
I mean, that quote, I was joking about. It does mean something to
It
him.
does mean something.
This is a guy who was probably on the team the first 3 years, just playing special
Yep.
teams, they said.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to be a guy who was actually, I'm not saying special teams don't count. They don't. But the whole thing is, like,
Fucking
for him,
cares.
actually being like a starter on defense, that's why it means so much to him. Like, he was there for 3 years and did nothing. Now he has, however he got there, he has a chance to
Well,
contribute.
not awesome. Also, he was probably a walk-on because they're not giving him a scholarship to be a
Yeah, a guy on
a special teams
teams
player. So,
Oh, not
so
one
he
bit.
may have earned a scholarship as well. They don't get into that aspect of it, but you know, like I wouldn't be surprised if you're going to be named starting defense. I would assume you're probably getting a scholarship.
Yeah, that's why it felt so real when he actually said that quote. Again, this wasn't a big like quote heavy movie as we had like numerous other ones like Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah,
fucking
where almost every line is a quote, basically.
yeah, and like more of the comedic movies, are the ones that always have quotes.
It
that's
sucks
going
there.
on.
What about dicks?
And Cox. So, oh man, that's and then our previous one, fucking Big Trouble in Little China. But that's all I really had for those. There were some other ones like that was here and there. Even for the scenes, I would say there weren't that many scenes. Again, I wish there were a lot more football scenes that was going on, but there weren't. So,
Well, I think that comes back to our point that we were saying, like, this movie went in too many directions. Like, if they would have settled on, you know, like, Joe Kane and his whole thing, and then maybe, like, Latimer or Joe Kane and a coach, you know, like, it makes more sense that way instead of going into 5 different, you know, little stories to try to sum it up. You know, like, this would be better on, like, Netflix where each one could have their own, like, you know, episode of like,
Yeah,
oh, look at Latimer, you know, like.
yep. Okay, so we were jumping ahead.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you know, like.
We have the movie on in the background if we want to talk about clothing. So the starting running back is wearing the Carlton sweater right there.
Yes.
Jefferson has the Canadian tuxedo going with the do-rag. And then Mac was wearing a Hawaiian shirt in the background. What kind of party is this?
I know. Yeah. The fact that Mac is from the straight south, he's probably like Georgia going on, and he's wearing a fucking Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was some story about a college football player that went pro that was from like some island in Georgia somewhere where it was just like the most backwoods place imaginable, and that's probably where he's from, probably in this movie.
Yeah, probably.
The little shack that probably rents for $1 a night on Zillow or whatever.
Yeah, Airbnb.
And,
which, like,
Halle Berry's always wearing like a fucking sports coat.
Yeah, listen, she's a professional. All right, plain and simple. She's the one that has probably the best career out of this entire. Yeah, I got one before you guys. Sorry, that's going on. All right, so right here on the podcast, we are going to take a quick break. And then we'll come back with the rest of the show as we always do. We'll carry on with the rest of the awards and finish it up. But if you're following us on Twitch, we're going to stay live and talk a little bullshit in the background. So, all right, hang on. I usually start with a quote.
Starting defense. Place at the table.
There we go. I'll take it. Starting defense, place at the table. That's all I can go with this. God, this fucking hurts. Now, we're back. Reels, Blues, and Bros. RB2. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everyone that's with us. That we had karate chopping, some lagging. Hopefully this works out. If not, we're fucking the lost episode.
Remember, it's our first time.
It is.
Everyone's nervous their first time, guys.
And let's move on. The movie awards. Best quote. I'm going to nominate. Here we go. Fuck you, Doughboy. I can read. See that shoe? It says Adidas.
I taught him that.
I've used that so many times.
I mean, that is a classic. I still have to lean. I have to go with Latimer's speech just because of the whole delivery and everything. And it just makes you, like, even though, like, I didn't play football, but just playing sports growing up makes you, like, reflect on everything, like, playing sports and just, like, you know, being part of the team and going, you know, all this different stuff. And you were just like, it was cool.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, that speech is, we said it was the best one. I also do like, it's not my favorite one, but just because we're talking about it, I do like Joe Kane's. I don't have the exact thing written down, but it's basically kind of the idea about once you're in the zone, everything just kind of moves automatically. You forget about everything else outside. Like, we were all athletes in one way or another. It's kind of the thing that once things are just like rolling and you're going, everything's just perfect. You feel great. You don't feel tired. You just, like, for me, like, I ran track and cross country, so we talk about runner's high when you just like block everything out and you're just moving automatically. Basically, it's the same for other sports also. But that being said, no, I'm still going. Starting defense. Starting defense. Place at the table.
You know what? I honestly, I could thoroughly enjoy that fucking quote. The entire.
I might go outside and break the windows on your car after this podcast is over.
You will get fucked. You touch my truck.
You know any cops?
I will shoot you. I will.
Well, you know what? You'd be doing me a favor at this point. So that's cool too.
Don't fucking touch my goddamn truck.
All right, Brian's car. Are we good then?
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that. But
Nice.
I'll Venmo you the money later.
how much that window cost? About $50. Fuck. I want. You know,
How much could a banana cost? $10?
I want to see you with the fucking bandana on, with the fucking blood coming down from your forehead. You slam to the wing.
I'm gonna see if your kids have like crayons or markers. I'll paint a skull on my face first before I do it.
I've got plenty of markers.
There we
Just
go.
Look over there. Look at that. You got some glue over there, some confetti and shit like
I
that.
can huff glue in the parking lot before I do it.
We'll see. You know what? Brian, as much as I enjoy that quote, it's a nice fucking quote. It's too long.
Okay.
I would go with either with mine or Cavs.
So I'm not upset about that.
Yeah, you should be. No. So let's see. Twitch audience, which one do you think? Since we actually have someone we can talk to and call back. So do you want starting defense? Do you want fuck you, Doughboy? I can read. It says Adidas, or do you want the dissertation?
Mm-hmm.
Settle down, Charles Dickens. You don't get paid by the word.
I got so. I'm not. The chat is very quiet. I guess on that question. Maybe they probably didn't hear it. I don't think I'm. Are we lagging again? That would suck. Continue to go on. They're like, I didn't hear what he said, so we had to repeat. All right, so we're moving on. We'll figure out what they want to say after that. So now, best scene. Who thinks the best scene? Brian, what do you think the best scene is?
I'm gonna have to go. The first day of practice. I think that's just like the most iconic scene from this movie. It just sums up like everything. The football is fantastic in it. The hitting and
It was rough. I felt the sours kill me.
Like I said, I'm really trying to think of like who else could have played. Like, it's not that I don't like Welcome to the Jungle, but I really want something else in there. This is like just before Rage. Like, Rage would have been good if they were
Early to mid 90s. Do you think this is more of a rap song that plays possibly? I don't know what big rock songs are out then.
like who's
Yeah, now
like
you throw some Offspring come out and play.
Rock Superstar? No, that was like later on.
That was later on.
Yeah, I know, but that, you know what? It could be good.
But like who's the big? Well, the big because it was grunge at that point, so you're not gonna have like
Nirvana
Pearl
or
Jam
Pearl
or
Jam?
yeah, really
Alice in
be
Chains?
maybe.
The chat's saying Back in Black, some TNT.
Yeah, AC/DC, that could work.
AC/DC.
I think Metallica works.
Yeah.
Master of Puppets.
Well, it's still 80s, though.
Yeah,
so.
I know, but you
This
want
would be
some
the
more.
Black album for Metallica. So it'd be Enter Sandman.
Which is probably the greatest Metallica album, in my opinion. But,
Oh, my God, what's wrong with you?
fucking wrong. All right, whatever.
The Black Album? Jesus
I
Christ.
love the Black album. All right, anyway.
All right, we can argue later.
Off camera.
But yeah,
I am breaking your windows.
but yeah, that whole scene is good, and then once again you get Latimer, overhand pressing, 50 times. So
Well, yeah, so...
and the kick at the end.
Yeah, I would have said my favorite scene. If
The kick at the end is fucking... I don't know why, but it's just like the icing on the fucking cake.
Yeah, it's like because I'm wearing a Cartman shirt, but like when they the South Park kicks it.
It's so unnecessary, but it's like you need it.
Oh, no, it was totally necessary. That's how you know the workout's over.
The kicking the weights ends the workout.
Only one. Everyone else is dead. He's over there just fucking grinding. Yeah.
No, I know we were saying that dissertations aren't allowed, but for my favorite scene, I do think that whole introduction leading up to that scene where they're giving all their speeches about what they're thankful for, and really from there going into the first game, that's probably like the best 10-minute stretch of the movie, I would say. So I think that's the best scene. If you're looking for a smaller scene, like you kind of mentioned, the whole thing with him doing the workout, I would actually say the scene you brought up for one of the scenes that you first mentioned, with Alvin Mack first being completely... I don't want to say dumb as shit, but what else can you say?
Yeah.
The guy's trying to help him out. But then going right into the film study room where he knows exactly everything that he needs to do, knows every offensive set the other team is in, knows what his and everyone else's responsibility is. I like that scene. So
He just loves his priorities. It's not fucking school. His priorities is football. He's like, school, I'm not going to be a doctor. I'm not going to be like a fuck. I don't know.
That's the Cardale Jones quote from Ohio State. We ain't come to play school.
Yeah, he fucking just can't. He's like, listen, school is secondary. My primary is fucking being a football player. I'm a fucking football
You guys saw my SAT scores when I applied. You knew what you were getting into.
Yeah. You're like I spelled my name right, motherfucker.
I'm going to hit that guy so hard his girlfriend dies. This is what I'm here for.
You know what? For my favorite scene, honestly, the final football game. It brings everything together. It's what we've been waiting for. There's not enough football in a fucking football movie. and we're like, fuck, here comes the football. The final scene, they fucking win. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. The fumble here. We got this. We did it. Yay. Hooray. It's all great. Fucking everyone wins. We're going to the fucking... a bowl. Like...
The Beef O'Brady's Bowl in Tampa, Florida.
Where's the beef? So, like...
Is it the Duke's Mayo Bowl?
It's probably like the fucking the potato bowl. I don't know, but like the fact they finally got
the Meineke Car Care Bowl.
Yeah. Like how good is their football program? They haven't been like in a bowl in so long. They barely make it. Like what the fuck? Right?
Yes, it's only 2 years. I think they said is how long.
Yeah.
2 years. They said.
All right, so the football
because there's the third year they're like we
Failed
need a bowl
expectations.
Game.
Yeah. They were obviously once. I guess.
Look at that bow tie.
I guess from.
That's like a big bow tie. It's like double bow tie because there's like one in the front, one in the back.
I guess they had to be like a pretty big program, and like I said, just based on their colors, I think they're trying to take off like Florida State.
Yeah.
So.
They're saying, do you see my shadow hands in the back on the right, animated on the webcam?
And do some finger puppets. Is this the dog? I don't remember how the dog works. How does the dog work?
It's like, I think it's like this. It's like, I don't know. It's like
I don't remember. It's been a while. I haven't been 10 in a while. I'm doing completely wrong. I'm doing the Hulk Hogan.
What's the
rip 'em.
Yeah.
Beer fist? Oh, disappointed.
Oh, it's frustrating.
Frustrating.
The bubble, it explodes.
I got it. We're fucking retarded. All right. I lost that. So, all right, let's bring it back in. So, best scene? I don't fucking know. Did we come to like a... Like
we gave ours.
We all have like three.
And you have the game.
We have three different ones.
Yeah, it was the final game. Brian said, what was yours? I forgot. It was the football banquet, basically?
No, first practice.
The first practice.
First practice.
And I said
were
the banquet, yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry. All right, so, yeah. 3 different opinions, 3 different there. So I can't tell for best
This is
scene.
where Jay declares himself the winner, and then we move on.
No, I have to go with the quote. I'm going this one. You know what? The best scene? dude fucking taking a piss, steroids, not dumping the toilet. He found he put the piss inside the toilet paper.
Yeah.
He pre-planned this because he knew he was gonna go.
I wonder how many of those he had in there. He had to have. There was like five stalls.
There was
he had
5 stalls.
Well, I wonder how many times did he like go to Home Depot and buy like 10 different gauges of pipe to find one that would-
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was in the army, they literally looked at your junk as you're peeing. So I'm just like, after a while, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Like I would pull down my pants.
Did you wink at the guy?
Oh, I would pull like they're like I had like guys look at there because like we call them the meat gazers. So what I would do is I'm like fuck this. I'd pull my pants down to my ankles and I'd just be like I'm going. And they'd be like so fucking weirded out. I'm like what? You never seen a dick before? You have one.
I know you're not your first appointment of the day. This isn't the first dick you've seen.
There's a lot of us out there, so get ready for a fucking lineup. That's probably the worst job. Anyway, bringing it back. Now onto the Randy Watson Award, Best Character. I love. First of all, his name is Bud Light. Bud Light Kaminsky. The singing, the stupid faces, and just being a jolly fat muscle guy. The stereotypical farm boy jock. Loved him. Every scene he was in, I loved it. I thoroughly loved it.
His doggies are on the way to the end zone.
Yes, yeah, he's like fucking singing. He's like, he gets his like kind of
Get along, little doggy.
Yeah, and his stupid fucking haircut. It's like I don't know how to explain.
The suspenders.
Yes, Oh my god, I loved him. All right, what do you guys got? Brian, Kev, what do you want to say? This fucking sour's hurting. I gotta finish.
I really want to go with Latimer, but he's so controversial. Like he could be the best and worst character because of everything that he's involved in. Like
if he didn't do the rape, plain simple. Actually, I'm sorry, sexual assault.
Yeah,
there was no penetration. He would be fine.
Yeah.
Cut that scene out. He could be one. Okay, steroids to get the best. He went from fucking being like.
I'm not gonna say he's the best character in the movie, but like, who's like a more memorable like football player in any football movie besides him? You would just say Rudy from Rudy, and that's probably it, right?
I fucking hate Rudy.
All right, well, I'm just saying he's memorable though.
I fucking yeah.
But like for a guy who's not even the main character of the movie, he stands out more than anyone else.
Booby Miles.
I fucking Rudy and Samwise Gamgee are the worst fucking characters in any movie ever. Anyway, I'm
not a big fan of sharing the load.
No, fuck him.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It's tough because if I don't say Latimer, I'll go Alvin Mack.
That's who I have.
Alvin Mack, yes. Honestly, he was good.
He's a good guy. He's the actual best football player, the leader of the team.
He was.
Takes care of his mom.
Yeah,
he does. Gets her a fucking door. Fucking what is it? A knocker? Is that what
and he's
gonna, cool. He's like, I'm gonna get you the house.
When he gets his first contract, the house is coming.
Yeah, he's all about family.
Yeah.
All right.
But I would say it's tough because Latimer is like the character that stands out the most.
He's the most memorable
movie.
character.
But I don't know if you can say he's the best character because of all the other issues.
It's tough.
You know, the drugs, the sexual assault.
But then,
it's
but because of everything he goes with it, he's fucking jacked. He's got the fucking long hair. He's got the face paint. You know, he's got these blow up tackles on the football field.
He rips the guy's head off.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, he rips the guy's helmet off, but he's holding it up like it's the guy's skull, like waving it around in that
the
first
snot
game.
bubbles he left the guy with. Just like stuff like that. That's why he's more memorable, in the movie. But
he is. Gotcha. All right, so that brings me on to a segue of the next, the worst character, the Adrian Balboa Award.
Christy Swanson.
Honestly, Steve Latimer. Because obviously the fucking sexual assault. And the runner-up is the fucking coach. He fucking sucks. Kev, what do you got?
So I have two. If we're taking a person who's like in the movie like actually a lot, I'm going with whatever the starting running back is. His name. That guy is an absolute loser. He's an absolute liability on offense.
Darnell? No.
Is Darnell his name? No, that's the other guy's name.
Ray Griffin.
Yeah, Griffin, yeah. The Carlton-looking motherfucker with his little sweater dancing at the party. But yeah, he's an asshole. He sucks. You can tell he's a prick. Nobody likes him. He doesn't hang out with the team at all. So,
Yeah.
I mean, good for him. He's an academic All-American, but he sucks.
He was number 2 on my
But
list.
if we're going for
That
who I
pretentious
actually,
motherfucker.
if we're going for the guy I actually think is the worst person in the movie, he doesn't even have a name. It's the guy that starts the bar fight with Joe Kane. So his girlfriend smiles at him, and he's got a problem with Joe Kane. What are you smiling at him for? Then he goes over, Heisman boy.
Yeah.
Who you hot for my
Yeah,
girlfriend?
so screw that
There you
guy.
go. Stick
What
the needle in that ass.
So, what did Joe Kane deserve this? He didn't do anything. The girl's just smiling at him. We're going to get in a fight now. And by the way, you're thinking that you're going to start a fight and win with the starting quarterback of the football team? That's probably not going to go well for you. So that guy can go fuck himself. But if it's not him, it's the actual starting running back.
Ray Griffin.
Yep.
Gotcha. Ray Griffin was my number 2, but I'm still going with Chrissy Swanson. Because
What's your reason? Yes, I need to know your
I'm a lot less interested in Halle Berry in this movie than Christy Swanson. I don't like
because
either of them
she
really, but-
said everything from the beginning that she wasn't going to do, she did. She was just like, I don't date athletes.
Come on.
I don't
He
do
drinks,
this.
He drinks Sprite now. He's
Yeah.
a changed man.
She did the
Sprite.
she did she
Six-pack road trip.
did the complete opposite. I told my dad I would never get on this bike. All right, well, it looks like you're never coming out. Okay. And it was just like, she, just, I just something about her character, like, I just don't like. I think she's gorgeous, but just, like, she's just stupid.
So is she better dark-haired or blonde?
Blonde.
I'd probably go blonde.
Yeah.
I
She's blonde than Buffy the Vampire Slayer, right? Because that's what I remember her from. So
Yes,
that's what I'm
yes.
going with.
So
I actually like her with the short hair in The Chase. She had, like, the really short hair.
Yeah.
shorter than that? Her hair's-
Shorter than this,
Her
yeah.
hair is like shoulder length in this one. I think.
No, she had it,
Like chin length?
yeah, it was like a perm sort of thing.
Like a perm.
Like, I don't know, whatever.
What's up, big worm? I mean,
Listen, when
perm?
you're someone who hasn't had to pay for a haircut in almost 20 years, you know, you don't keep up with styles, okay?
All right, well, it's not a perm. We'll just.
so we're not going with the sexual assault juice head guy.
Well, I said I told you he's the best and worst part about this
Yeah,
movie.
he's the most memorable character, but you remember him for things that you don't necessarily want to remember someone for.
Okay, so yeah, we are. So he sucks.
But then again, every NFL football player is a scumbag, so he fits right in.
That is also true.
There you go.
Okay, but you know what? No one wants to touch on the coach. He sucks.
Yeah, he's.
You know
It's
what?
weird. He just doesn't really seem to care all that much.
Not one bit.
His own daughter gets thrown out of school, and he has to defend the guy that got her thrown out, and he just takes it. And he's not even going to say, "Hey, if we're going to get this asshole back in, we're not going to do anything for my daughter." Basically,
Yeah.
we're just hanging her out to dry.
I feel like once again, because they went to too many stories, like
Yeah.
if you would have just focused on the coach and have him try to save his job and, you know, that sort of thing, then it would have been like, okay, you know, like, it could be more of a James Caan driven movie. Like, I think James Caan's a really good actor, but it's just like,
he's very good. But
For
like
any
this,
given Sunday, if you would say the focus of that movie, it's Al Pacino is the focus of that movie, right?
him and Jamie Foxx,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like you get more of it there. He's really not the focus of this movie at
No,
all.
not
So
at
it's,
all.
It's kind of like even for all the other plots, you really don't get a lot about whatever he has going on.
No.
They bring up in the first scene, hey, you need to get a bowl game or you're fired.
Yeah.
And like that doesn't really get brought up a lot the rest of the movie at all.
until he has to go defend the kid, and
Collins,
they're
yeah.
like, because Joe Kane's in rehab, it's like, well, you really need to win. You know,
Never.
then all of a sudden it becomes a football school, not an academic place. You know,
Yeah.
so it's just like, right, whatever. Jay, I'll take another one.
all right, I'm up. By the way, Jack. what do we want?
I'll take that heartburn beer that you don't like.
I actually have a couple of them in here. Kevin, you good?
I don't care. Just grab me something.
All right, this one's good. Mosa. It's another like, but it's not actually. I enjoy them. It didn't give me that much heartburn, so
Okay.
I'm going.
It didn't give me that much heartburn.
You won't be too terrible drinking this beer. Just a little terrible.
Like I felt like for a quick second, but then other than that, the heartburn wasn't too bad. I'm going with my drinking crayons Icarus, my number one.
Ooh.
I love this fucking thing. All right, so we're good. Let's I don't fucking remember.
Worst character. Argue about the coach for a little bit.
Yeah, I got you. A Zima. Fuck you. I don't need a Zima. Fucking the chat over here talking shit about. I need a Zima.
Want a strawberry daiquiri? Virgin, of course.
Yes, definitely. So let's move on to behind the scenes. All right. So the original release of the film contained a scene where several ESU players lay on the yellow line, dividing. All right, yellow. Excuse me.
Double yellow line
dividing a busy local highway road as a test of their courage when 2 young men were killed and several others injured. All right, let me stop this for a second. By imitating the stunt, Buena Vista exercised the scene from the film. No post-theatrical version of the movie featured the sequence, leading many to speculate that the studio destroyed the actual camera negatives of the scene. However, the scene can be found on YouTube. Excuse me.
How many beers have you had in the last 2 minutes?
I didn't have anything. I bet.
That's the big thing when this movie came out.
Yes,
everyone knew about the scene.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And that just made people want to see it more.
This.
But it got cut. But it was on YouTube.
Yeah, like
so I watched it right after I watched the movie. Now, so
after the first weekend, like if you didn't see it like that Friday night or something like that, you didn't see the scene because it was like literally cut out like within the next day or two.
Yeah, they said within the first week of the film being out, basically it was gone. So, but.
Yeah, well, obviously there was no YouTube back then.
It was like it was like the trailer, and then after that, like you never saw it again after the trailer.
Yeah,
because morons again. Okay, so now the movie was filmed at the University of South Carolina and features their William Bryce Stadium as well as locations around Columbia. Columbia.
Yeah.
Yep. Some of the more important, some of the more prominent extras have names on the back of their football jerseys that are of the crew. Clearly visible are Ward, writer and director David S. Ward, Klopp, set decorator, and McLaughlin, first assistant director Josh McLaughlin, whatever. Excuse me. Andrew Brynarski and Dwayne Davis played teammates in Necessary Roughness.
Oh yeah, don't throw it to stone hands.
So that's what I got for a little BTS. Everything else was kind of like as opposed to like the quotes. There wasn't a lot of much.
Latimer's also in Any Given Sunday.
Oh, he's got to be one of the Metallica heads in the shower, I guess, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
He's the one who like throws the alligator. Yeah, and then he also has what do you do for Dick? The 65-year-old woman. He's also at that point. He's also got like 6 kids.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah. Fucking none all over the place. All right. Anything else for a little BTS? That was great. Okay, our favorite question of this podcast: can The Rock make this movie better? Anyone? What do you think? I'll tell you.
It's too easy to just say you plug him in as any of the football players. Like, yeah, he could be Alvin Mack or Latimer or anyone else.
Yeah.
So screw that. I'm making him the nerd academic guy that's wearing the bow tie. Have The Rock wearing his jacket with the patched sleeves, the bow tie. He's wearing glasses, telling the guy that this isn't a football. A football vocational school. This is an actual academic school of learning.
Yeah, but
and then James Caan can tell The Rock to shove his bow tie up his ass.
Yeah,
Good times.
He's so fucking jacked.
I mean, can he make the movie better? Like if he was, prominent back then, just make him Latimer or Alvin Mack.
Well,
make him the coach.
At this point in time in the 90s, The Rock was
an actual football player for Miami.
Playing college football for Miami and winning a national title.
Was he D-line?
He was linebacker.
Yeah.
I thought he was a linebacker.
Was D-line.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna put him in today's thing, like I've seen him be a coach in a movie,
with the kids.
Yeah, the high school kids.
No, it was like the
juveniles, but they were high school kids. Like I feel like he would have been a better coach than what James Caan did now.
James Caan's the worst coach.
It sucks because I said, I really like James Caan.
Yeah, phenomenal actor, but he's just like
who's a bad coach. Is it Henry Winkler in The Waterboy? He's a pretty bad coach. Yeah. There's your worst football coach right there.
I don't know. I think he's probably better than. I have to see that one again to see what's going on. As I said, I think I would make The Rock Alvin Mack. Just seems a little bit better.
Kill everybody. Just hearing he can do the trash talk at the line of scrimmage like he's The Rock also.
Yes, because that trash talk.
If you smell.
Yeah, because he's like phenomenal in wrestling. Back
Hey, number 62, what's your name? It doesn't matter what your name is.
You smell what this is. that he would be like phenomenal, and like he's more because like Alvin Mack is not as jacked for the amount of shit talking he does. He's stronger than everyone he's come up against, but he's not as fucking jacked as everyone.
I wonder what movie was first, because he was the wide receiver in Necessary Roughness. Did he get bulked up for this role?
I get.
Yeah, maybe.
I see. All right. So after that, should there be a sequel franchise TV series? Brian, what do you think?
Like I said, I think this goes better for now for a TV series. Like you could easily do a TV series now based upon this, with everything going on. Like where you can make the storyline of the coach.
One is
Oh yeah, who gives a shit?
You can make the storyline of the coach. All the different players. There's just a ton of different stuff that you could do with a season. And it can't be a 30-minute show. It has to be like a Netflix or Hulu.
An hour
45 minutes to an hour episode. Where you could do that stuff. It's got to be minimum like 10 episodes. And just go from there, follow them from the beginning, and be like, take off from the last game to the recruiting to blah blah blah, and then get into it. But I think it could work as a TV show.
Cav, what do you think?
No, like the same thing. Like you could have either one where, because it's so long, you get more information about each character as it's going along. Like we said, this really tries to lump like every like major college football and sports scandal into one movie that's like an hour and 45 minutes basically.
Yeah.
And a lot of it doesn't really work. So you can do episodes where it's just the movie, just play it out longer, or just do each individual episode is about one person on the football team.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a full hour on Latimer through the season. And it might be interesting that way because you just see the season from start to finish for each character, and you can kind of see how it overlaps when you're watching through. So one episode's about Latimer, one about Mac, one about Kane, one about the coach, one about the daughter and the backup quarterback.
You suck, Collins.
I think
and then we don't have to have any episodes about the relationships between the quarterback and.
I think the overwhelming thing, like for me, and if they were going to do a full season of this, it would be the coach's story, because like realistically, the way they set it up is like he's coaching for his job.
Yeah. And
So-
all the shit's going on around him that he has to try
so
to piece
he has
together
to,
while keeping his
and that's
job.
why like he would have to be the main focus point of the show. Like you could do episodes about the guys, but then it would be like, like the coach still has to be a big part of that, because he has to, reel him back in, and like what the fuck's happening with this program and where's it gonna go.
Yeah, you could even have it just popped in my head. You could have some sort of weird gimmick, like the episode begins and ends with like the player in the coach's office trying to figure out what they're doing, like where they start with the season, where they end, basically, and telling Latimer they're trying to go recruit his backup or his replacement, I should say.
As much as I said no, but you know what? I want to see Latimer looking like fucking skinny Steve Rogers, and then coming out to be fucking Captain America.
See how this guy started on the gunner on the punt return team to all of a sudden he's an all-American defensive end.
What was the quote, Kev? What was it again? He said
For what?
Latimer.
Oh, his full quote?
Yeah,
like at the banquet?
No, not the banquet. He saw the list and he goes,
"Oh, starting defense, place at the table."
Going from fucking like the 110 fucking pound guy to like next, he's like 100 pounds more. 205, 210.
A lot of people put on 35 pounds in the summer. It's called working out hard.
Kidding me? That guy's fucking 265 easy.
All right, you know what? I can't tell.
Still, but it's all muscle though.
Yeah.
You know what? As much as I say no, because there's been like numerous shows, as in like.
What was that show on ESPN?
There was like Friday Night Lights. There was
a show on ESPN that actually went into like the scandals of everything with football. It was on like maybe like 20 years ago.
What was that? 30 for 30 with them.
No, it wasn't
with
30
Miami.
for 30.
It was fantastic.
But most of the shows they do are high school shows. They don't do college shows. It's always high school for football.
Like they had Snoop Dogg's son in his like that prep school he's at in Cali.
Playmakers. That was a show on ESPN that was a pro team where it kind of went over like all the drugs, the assaults, injuries, covering things up.
I don't know.
2003. It was only on for one season, but it was still interesting though. But but I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I know that there's been other football shows and other football. I mean, you could always just watch.
It's still
going to
work. People are going to watch it. Football's the most
king.
watched. Yeah, football's the most watched sport. So
Last night I watched the two shittiest teams in the NFL play a football game for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because football is king.
And in the United States of America, American football is the most watched sport.
Yeah.
So everyone will watch something that's as long as it's a football show. All right, so we got that. And final thoughts. What do we got on final thoughts? Brian, Kev, what do you guys think?
For a sports movie, it's a good sports movie. I know we've talked about the detractors about how there's just too much going on. It can be hard to follow. Some of the plot lines they have just really don't belong there. But the parts where this movie actually does hit and it's interesting are still really good. Mm-hmm. Like I'm still, even though we didn't talk about Kane's like whole interaction with, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, I should say, I guess, his relationship with his dad, like it's still interesting that it's there. Latimer is interesting. Mac is interesting. Those parts still stand out. So it's a good sports movie, and it has the kind of stereotypical comeback story at the end. That's a big boy on Georgia Tech there. Jesus Christ. It was fucking gigantic compared to him.
Yeah. That's a big boy.
But no, like I have no problem sitting down watching this movie if I catch it on somewhere just to see basically anything that's going on. So it's a good sports movie.
Yeah, I mean, I like this movie, and I think why I like it is because it's still relevant to today. It's not like we're watching, even though it's now almost 30 years, this movie's I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's almost 30 years old, but it's still relevant in today with recruiting and kids going to these programs where they literally can't read and do all this stuff and, get
Alabama.
Yeah. Boosters, all this sort of stuff. And it's just, it's crazy that it's still so relevant in today's game. And, once again, this is some of the better football that you see in some movies. But, the one gripe, like I said, we have is just there's just too many stories that they're trying to do. If you take one or two out, and I think the movie flows a little bit better.
We need absolutely nothing of the women in this movie. I'm sorry. They do not add anything to the story at all.
Yeah. They don't move the needle whatsoever.
We can get everything about Jefferson being the rookie running back and Kane being the troubled Heisman quarterback without the love interests there.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, I have to agree with that. I wish there was more football in this that was going on.
Poor guy. They're showing Alvin Mack in his little shack in Mississippi somewhere. Let the paramedics sort him out.
In the middle of fucking nowhere. But you know what? I have to agree. Like, I wish there was the love interest. I know that it was like shoehorned in. It was so fucking tough to see. I wish there wasn't that much going on in there. And pick like one or two, like one main storyline and then a subplot and not all these other characters and they're all relationships that's going on. It would have been such a better fucking movie. But I still enjoyed it. I'd probably give it, honestly, on my scale, a 7 out of 10.
I would say an 8 out of 10. And as we're watching, it's the last scene where Latimer lays the guy out with the snot bubbles. And I still say,
which is
name a better or more interesting college football player in a movie than Latimer. He rules.
But you know what? The snot bubbles, I don't understand.
They had to have put like sugar in his nose or something like that.
Why snot bubbles? Like, how does that show? Like, he's fucking so far. He got hit so hard. He has snot bubbles.
He's properly hydrated and he's breathing too heavy because he got hit.
He probably had fucking COVID, and that was the first fucking time.
Well, the whole thing is they get into the whole issue with drug abuse with steroids, but that running back must have been, snorting cocaine before the game, so that's why he's doing that, actually.
So cocaine was snot bubbles.
I mean, maybe he's from Miami. We don't really know. I know they're playing Georgia Tech. It's kind of close to Florida, so.
Yeah, Georgia's right there.
Yeah.
You know what? On a side note, this last scene where Latimer made that tackle, great coach comes in, grabs him, and looks at his face, and basically they had this like emotional moment. And then
he knows he's back on his stuff.
Yeah, and then you know what? He sits down, and then at the end of the game, there's Latimer on the bench like crying, and like the internet's like half saying, "Oh my God, you know what?" He's like upset that he's like done with the football, and the other half is like, "Oh no, the coach realized he's fucked because like.
But the coach respects him because he did what it took to play, and it's like that's not what happened.
No,
What are
not
you
one
guys
bit.
doing?
The fucking coach goes,
You motherfucker!
He's
I
like,
told you
"You-
not to fucking take smack anymore.
yeah, he's like, I know,
Not
and,
smack.
and like I smack.
Sorry, whatever. I'm not hip. I'm not with it.
I don't even remember what the fuck smack is.
I thought smack was actually. Was it not cocaine or no?
I think it's cocaine.
I don't know.
Anyway.
We have to go back to like 6th
He's all
grade.
hopped up on goofballs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. We're lost. Bring it back in. So that's it.
10-7, real bar burner. Sorry.
All right. So that's it. Our final thoughts on the program, and let's. I know. Yeah, that's it. Final thoughts. Anyone else? You guys want anything else? Change the lead on this movie? You wanna? No.
I just no. The only other thing is like I could just think of like who else at this time frame could you get to play the coach?
Al Pacino.
Early 90s, or mid 90s.
Yeah,
Honestly, I don't know.
but you like don't go because we've seen Pacino do
For a
it.
sports movie, Tom Berenger.
Tom Berenger
No, that wouldn't be a bad choice.
with the mustache.
And the guy
I
did
fucking
Major
love-
League, so we could probably recruit him to do the movie also.
That wouldn't be a bad choice.
Oh,
Berenger.
what's the actual coach's name in Major League? Bring him back.
Lou
Oh
Brown?
my god! Yes.
Lou Brown?
He was a football coach.
We wear caps and sleeves at this level.
No, but I think we did like
I'm getting too old for this shit.
the one that would probably be good. Like even though I love Pacino and I love him in Any Given Sunday, I don't know if he could do this performance, but John Voight when he did Varsity
Right.
Blues,
Varsity
he
Blues,
was really good as a coach in there. And I
Bud
Phenomenal.
Kilmer is his name?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Bud Kilmer.
Fucking Kilmer.
20 straight division titles.
Yeah.
He shows the rings and shit like he's a fucking queen of England.
Yeah. But
I don't know what Pacino's up. I think that's got to be around the set of the woman Pacino. I think
This is
mid
after-
to late 90s for him
Which
for
is
that.
pre-
I think.
this
Listen.
is pre-Heat?
Preheat, I think it was.
When did he come out? This is 94. Heat was 92?
You know, I was just thinking because I was going to say Tom Cruise, but he's too young. But
No, fuck Tom Cruise.
Dustin Hoffman could have probably done it. I don't really see him as being a football coach though.
No, you need a like
like my
a
Tom
commanding
Berenger answer. I'm going
you
with that.
you like a commanding presence. I think Tom Berenger and John Voight would probably be the two best choices right now.
When's Varsity Blues? 98, 99, somewhere around there.
Heat was 95. This.
Oh, so this is pre-Heat. So
Yeah,
all
pre-Heat.
right. What about? And I'm going to throw this out there.
De Niro,
No,
No.
all right, never mind.
Not good at all.
Tom Sizemore.
I
I'm
another.
going to stop naming people.
I'm going to say another. I'm going to say another Tom Selleck. Random, but I feel like there's a potential for that.
Okay.
Hall of Fame mustache.
That's all he got. I can't see him as anything else.
Yeah, but you know, hey, he was supposed to be Indiana Jones. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Who's the guy in The Replacements? It's Gene Hackman, right?
Yeah,
Maybe him.
Nah. Maybe.
Starting as a yeah. That this movie leads into his fucking career as a NFL
After all the
player.
pro coaches go on strike, they got to get Gene Hackman in there. The once proud coach of what was the name of the school?
ESU?
Coast.
ESU.
Yeah, Eastern
the
State
Timberwolves?
University. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just an interesting question to see like who you could have like play. Like, don't get me wrong, I like James Caan. This just wasn't his
Look
best
at him.
role.
He doesn't know how
No.
to celebrate a win. He just went to a bowl
Look at-
game. Hey guys.
Yeah, it sucks. It
So.
was horrible. All right, so I have nothing for final thoughts. Honestly, no.
I concur.
I just hope both teams have fun.
It's a good shirt. How dare you?
All right, and so that's it for this episode. Our next episode will be, guess what? We're gonna continue with the college theme, fucking old school. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going old school.
You're my boy, Blue.
Yeah, you're my boy Blue.
You're my boy, Blue.
Dust in the wind.
Earmuffs. I'll say anything we want. Just put earmuffs. Fuck shit.
Cock balls. All right, just
cock
making a
balls.
point. You don't have to celebrate, frankly.
All right, so old school. That's probably gonna be sometime next week, or like 2 weeks from now. Our schedules are very crazy going on. I have no idea how this episode is gonna air. It'll probably be on live on Twitch again. If not, then we'll see what goes from there. Other than that, if you want to be part of the Reels Booze Bros and aka RB2 podcast, check us out on our website to find out how, reelsboozebros.com. And as always, we're gonna try this Twitch TV again at the RB2 podcast. Thank you for everyone who joined on the chat with us, and that's it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers.